Hi, I'm Dr. Will Holsworth, your San Jose chiropractor from Pain Relief Chiropractic. Today's video is a collection of all of the stretches that I've shown online, all in one video, so that you can follow along, pause at any time, and basically do stretches from the head all the way down to the toes. So let's start with the upper part of the back of the neck over in here. This part's going to also get into the top of the shoulder blades, right in between that area that's kind of gets tight every once in a while. We're going to take our fingers, interlace them like this, and cover the back of the skull. There's a little bump back there. Cover that up, and then bring your elbows forward. And you're not going to pull your head down, but you're basically just going to let the weight of your arms pull your head forward like this. And whenever we do any of these stretches, we're going to hold for at least 30 seconds. You can go for longer if you want, but 30 seconds is going to be the minimum. You also don't want to have any sort of discomfort when you're doing the stretches. So if at any point you do feel discomfort, back off on the intensity or don't do it at all if it still hurts after that. The next stretch is for the traps, which go from the side of the head and neck in here into the shoulder. We're going to take our arm, put on the low back like this. The next thing we do is we take our free hand and pull our head away from the arm that's on the low back. Again, the point of a comfortable stretch, never to the point of pain. We can flex forward and back as we do this stretch to get different angles into the stretch here. If there's any pain with this, try not pulling the head so far away, or you can take your arm and pull it off of your back like this. With this stretch and the next stretch I'm about to show you, you can actively droop your shoulder down like this. It's kind of slight, so this is starting from the first position to the second position. If you do that, you'll feel a stretch more into the shoulder attachment of the muscle rather than just feeling it in the neck. Obviously, we're going to do the other side with this one. The first stretch that I showed you, you don't have to do. There's only one side to do. It's only the neutral. But for this one, you definitely need to do both sides. And most of the stretches I'm going to show you to do both sides. Another stretch we can do for the neck and shoulders. Take your arm, put it in the back again. Next, we look into the opposite armpit of the arm that's on the back. I like to match my forearm up with the frame of my skull, and then I'll pull my head from the back, like here, and pull my head towards where I'm looking, right into the armpit there. Again, you can actively droop that shoulder down to get more of a stretch into the shoulder attachment of the muscle. We go and we take our arm, put on the low back again for the other side. Frame of the skull, right in line with it, pulling from the back of the skull over to directly where we're looking. Now, important when you do this stretch, you look directly into the armpit before you pull your head towards where you're looking. The next stretch, we're going to get in this area here. This area can be chronically tight with people who grind their teeth at night or anyone who suffers from TMJ syndrome. You basically find up the collarbone right here. You're going to go just below it, right in that area, and anchor that tissue down. When you do this, you want to make sure you're facing forward. You don't want to be looking off to the side, otherwise you won't get the right stretch. So we cover that up right beneath the collarbone. Take your other hand and just reinforce it. Next, you're going to tilt your head away, rotate your head away, and extend backward. Now, I remember this with the acronym TRE, tilt, rotate, extend, T-R-E. And again, the point of a comfortable stretch, never to the point of pain. And we relax. For the other side, collarbone, cover up, pull, down, tilting away, rotating away, and extending backward. Good. While we're on the neck, I want to go over a postural reset exercise. A lot of us have this posture where the ear is going in front of the shoulder. We're having this forward head posture, which can cause tightness and discomfort in the back of the neck and even into the upper back. What you want to do to reset the posture is when a pigeon walks, it goes like this. But we're already doing this part of the pigeon walk. So what you're going to do next, you're just going to give yourself the ugliest double chin you could possibly give yourself, retracting backward, keeping your chin level to the ground, and you only hold for an instant. After that, you have reset the posture so that your ear is back over your shoulder. And when you do that, you're allowing for the neck bones, the cervical spine, to support the weight of the head, rather than the muscles when you're using the forward head posture that we're typically using. While we're on posture resets, might as well do the shoulders as well. The other part of this forward head posture, this anterior head carriage, this upper cross syndrome that we're seeing a lot of places in computer workstations and everywhere else really, people are always kind of reaching forward whenever they're working. We have this rounded posture in the shoulders. So we need to reset that as well. And the way that we do that is we keep our hands at our side and fan our hands outward like this. What you're going to do next is you're going to just relax your hands, put them back at your side without moving your shoulders. And now when you do this, what I want you to realize is you don't want to keep your hands and go backwards like this. You also don't want to go out like this. It's just keeping your hands at your side, going to that comfortable spot, and then relaxing, keeping your hands in place, or keeping your shoulders in place and relaxing there. Now when you do this, you may feel tightness in here, and you may feel discomfort in the back of the shoulders. So what do we do for that? To start with the shoulders, what we're going to do is we're just going to activate those muscles because they're not used to holding your shoulders back. They're used to being like this and not having to do anything. Those muscles in between your shoulder blades, they bring your shoulders back. So we have to wake those muscles up by activating the shoulders by doing this exercise. Keep our arms at our side like this, and we just pinch our shoulder blades together. You want to kind of imagine that there's a grape or a walnut, if you want to get real intense. Squeezing that, crushing that between your shoulder blades. I like to keep my upper arm, my bicep vertical when I do this. It's not a matter of just going like this. It's bringing and retracting those shoulders back, waking those muscles up. And I'll do those like 10 times, a couple times a day, just sort of wake that up and help maintain that posture that we try to reset when we do the posture reset exercise. The next part of the posture that we try to work on is the chest. This area, these pecs get tight once again. So what I'll do is to stretch that out, you can find some sort of furniture like this. You can use a beam in a building, a doorway. It's called the pec doorway stretch for a reason. You can use a doorway for this. So I'll just take my arm, pin it against in here so that the bicep is parallel to the floor. The forearm is parallel to the door frame or the wall or the beam. Step forward like this, and we rotate the torso, not just the neck, the torso. So I try to pretend like I got to bring my hips away to get that stretch into the pecs. Always step forward with the same leg as the arm you're stretching so that you get that good stretch in there. Next we're going to target the elbows right in here. To get after this area, all you have to do is you take your arm and pay close attention to this. The right arm is going to go over the left, okay? The upper arm is the one that's in charge here. It's doing the work. The one underneath is just receiving the stretch. So with the right hand on top of the left hand, the right hand is going to pull the left hand to the left side of the body. You'll get a good stretch into your elbow there. You can change the way you interlace your fingers, like this, as long as your right hand's on top in this scenario, and we can go down as well. To do the other side, left over right, I'll spin around so you can see. The left hand's on top. It's doing the work. The bottom hand, the right hand, is getting the stretch. It's a really useful stretch in case you overgrip on your mouse. Get a nice, relaxed stretch into this area because the muscles that squeeze come from the elbow. Next thing we're going to do is get after this area. This is a good stretch if you have any carpal tunnel syndrome issues. You're basically just going to put your hands together like this, go into prayer position, and go down like that there. When you do this stretch, if you try to really kind of bring your shoulders down with it, you'll feel a really good stretch into the forearms there. I try to keep my palms together, and then I'll let my palms separate as well to try to get different distance. There's different spots in the forearms that you can get with the stretch here by letting your palms fall apart or keeping them together. A deeper stretch to get this area once again. I'll take my arm and I'll put it on a tabletop and rotate around like this. And then I'll kind of move my legs, arms around, or not my arms, my torso. I'll kind of pivot around like this and get different angles into it as well. Another stretch, something that we never really think about stretching, is our fingers. And a really easy way to do that is just find a desk edge, pushing in like this, going to the point of a comfortable stretch, one finger at a time, to get that stretch through the finger and into the hand. When you get to the thumb, it's a little bit trickier. Everyone wants to just stretch the thumb like this, which feels okay, but it doesn't feel as good as trying to get your fingers parallel to the desk edge surface and pushing in this way. It's a lot easier if you have the ability to push your hand in with if you have like a desk, whereas opposed to this is more of like a, you know, a dresser, so it's a little bit hard to get that angle in there. But if I push in like this way and try to get that in there, you'll feel more of a stretch because you're targeting this spot. This part of the thumb is the one that does all that opposition, which is what we're mostly doing when we use our thumb anyways. Next thing we're going to get after, we're going to start going after the lower extremity. Now we want to target these glutes, right? This is a pretty important area to stretch because we're sitting down a lot, we're standing. It's one of those spots we don't really always stretch. The way that we do that is we sit down, we cross our legs like this with our ankle on our knee, sitting up nice and tall. And when you maintain this posture with the chest up and out and the chin up as well, we only hinge at the waist, bending forward like this, getting a nice pull into the glutes here. And switch, do the other side, and stretching in this way. Another stretch we can do for the hamstrings, right in this area here, they go from the glute, from the butt basically, down to the knee. We sit on the edge of wherever we're sitting, so that we can take our foot, put it straight out in front of us, heel touching the ground, leg is nice and straight. Maintain that posture once again, sitting up nice and tall, chest stays up, chin stays up, flexing forward, keeping our gaze forward and upward. If we start to look down, we'll round the back, and then it'll steal from this stretch. Holding that for 30 seconds. I like this stretch and the previous stretch because you can do this anywhere. Anywhere you're sitting down. If you're in meetings, if you're at a coffee shop, out to lunch, whatever, you can do this stretch anywhere you are. People won't even know you're stretching. Now I skipped a stretch. I want to get into this area here. This area is a commonly tight spot in people. We're basically just going to take our arm and put it against the wall edge like this. I'm going to move my chiropractic table over for just a little bit here. And we're going to take our arm and put it straight out in front of us, or off to the side rather. Take that leg that's closer to the wall, put the hand on it, and bend the knee and kick the hip out. Next we're going to just reach up with our arm, and not just our hand but our shoulder. As we reach up with our shoulder, we're going to come over to the side like this, and you'll get a really deep stretch in this area. Now I'm going to reach up so much that my shirt becomes untucked, because that'll really get into that lat area, that spot that's chronically tight in people. And when you're tight in this spot, it can affect your back as well, so you really want to make sure you get after that whole area there. Another one we want to stay after, we want to target as well, especially when we're sitting a lot, is the hip flexors. And a standing stretch to get this area, we basically just go into a lunge position, and what we're going to do is put our hands like kind of on our back to assist in pushing ourselves forward. So I'll lean forward like this, and then I'll just kind of lean back and push with my hands in the back. Going again in the comfortable stretch point, feeling that stretch in the back left leg right now for me, in that hip flexor there. We also want to take care of our calf muscles. Calf muscles can be very tight, especially if we're dealing with plantar fasciitis. We take our foot and we put our heel as close to the wall as we can, with our toes making contact with the wall, heel is on the floor. We stand up nice and tall, and we bend forward at the waist again, and you'll get a stretch in your calves. Switch and put your other foot, heel against the foot against the wall, toes against the wall, heel as close to the wall as you can. And we're flexing forward there. There's two muscles in the calves we want to target. You don't want to just get one of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to now put our toes against the wall with our feet flat on the ground. We're going to get in that lunge position, similar to that hip flexor stretch. Toes are pointing forward, same direction. And we put our hands up against the wall, or in this case a cabinet. I'm just going to lean forward like this and get a stretch in the back leg this time we're targeting. Whereas in the previous stretch, we were targeting the front leg. I'm going to keep that back heel down. That is how we're going to get the stretch. If I lift my heel up, I'm going to lose that stretch. We flex forward, kind of translating our hip forward and down. Now, there's another little exercise that I want to review with you. It'll be the final thing that we'll do. And basically, when we stand at our desk, you can get some low back pain. If you're standing a lot, if you work in a restaurant, You can also get like lower mid-back pain. And a recent study came out actually in April of 2016, just a month ago from filming this video, where they found that if people every 2 hours just flexed forward at the waist, doing a forward bend and held that for 5 seconds, that would help alleviate the low back, mid-back pain significantly. So you basically just stand still, and we're just flexing forward at the waist and holding that for 5 seconds. So that's everything for me. If you found this interesting, go ahead and share it. If you ever want to watch this, just go ahead and watch as many times as you want over. Pause it in between. Remember to hold each stretch for at least 30 seconds. Aside from the fingers, that one you don't necessarily have to hold for 30 seconds each. You have 10 fingers, 30 seconds each would be kind of a long time to do a stretch for just your hands alone. And it's not totally necessary either. Whenever you do the stretches as well, you don't want to go to the point of discomfort. You want to make sure that it doesn't hurt. If it does hurt, back off in the intensity. I went over with the stretches. In the neck stretches specifically, you can take your arm off your low back, or you can just not pull your head so far away. The rest of them, you can just back off. There's not really any like postural changes that we can do to help alleviate the tension that we're getting, the relief, the intensity of the stretch. It's really just a matter of just backing off on the intensity itself. So if this is helpful for you, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and comment, like, whatever you have any questions with. It would be very helpful for me to get back to you. I can help clarify anything that you may have some questions about. And if you'd like to pursue maybe doing a class with this, I can go ahead and go into different settings and provide this in a slower format, doing the stretches with people, helping answer questions. I don't mind doing that. You can go ahead and reach out to me. Phone number is going to be listed at the end of the video. And once again, I'm Dr. Will Holdsworth from Pain Relief Chiropractic, your San Jose chiropractor. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good rest of your day.